Before we start, the man history called a monster held his throne 3 times, drove away the largest army in the world without a single shot fired, and was feared by the Sultan who cracked the walls of Constantinople. He died with nothing. No grave anyone's been able to find, no tomb, just a legend so warped by 5 centuries of retelling that almost everything you think you know is wrong. This is his actual life. It starts with his father selling. You are 5. Your father clasps a medallion around your neck. Bronze, heavy for a child. A coiled dragon swallowing its own tail. He explains what it means. The Order of the Dragon, knights sworn to hold Christendom against the East. He says it like it settles something, like it makes you safe. You're in Sigishora, a stone house that smells like tallow and horse leather. Your father is Prince of Wallachia, which sounds like power until you look at a map. A thin strip of land squeezed between the Carpathians and the Danube. 2 enormous forces on both sides, and your father in the middle. And the moment he flinches, it's over. You touch the medallion, cold metal, a dragon eating itself. You'll wear this shape your whole life. You just don't know it yet. You are 11. Your father makes a deal. The Ottomans want collateral, proof he won't move against the Sultan. So he gives them the only thing the Sultan would actually care about losing. He gives them you. You and your brother Radu ride south into Ottoman territory, into the court of Murad II at Edirne. White stone, silk carpets, cardamom in the corridors. The guards who receive you are polite. That's what nobody tells you about political captivity. When it's political, they're polite. Radu adjusts quickly. By month 2, he's laughing with the Ottoman boys in their language. By month 6, they've given him a different name. He's 8 years old. He's already picked a direction. You watch him. You say nothing. Your brother is still smiling. You learn Ottoman Turkish, Arabic. You study their cavalry, their siege logistics, their supply lines. Not because you've accepted this, because information is the one thing they can't take back when they finally open the gate. Here's what nobody mentions. Everything he learned in that palace, he used against them. Every weakness, every road. The Ottomans spent 6 years making him a hostage. They built something worse. You are 17. Your father is murdered. A boyar faction he thought he'd handled. Your older brother Mircea dies the same week. Blinded first, the accounts say, then buried alive. You get this news inside an Ottoman garrison. They deliver it carefully, watching your face. You give them nothing to watch. The Ottomans put you on the Wallachian throne. A puppet is more useful than a vacancy. You ride north with a Turkish escort. Wallachia is yours. For 2 months. The Hungarians back a rival. He takes the throne. You run. You're 17. You've been prince for 56 days, and there's nowhere to go but back to the people who just used you. You start building lists. Names. Specific faces. Men who raised cups to your father and turned before he was in the ground. You're 17 and your memory is already a weapon. You'll sharpen it for 8 more years. Most rulers who lose a throne don't get it back. Fewer than 1 in 12 deposed medieval princes reclaimed power. He does it 3 times, not by being luckier, by becoming something nobody knew how to stop. You are 18. You move between courts, Hungarian, Moldavian, people who give you shelter and extract from you in the same motion. A deposed prince with no army and no money is an expensive guest, and you know it. You perform gratitude. You've gotten good at performing things you don't feel. The real learning happens in the gaps. War councils you sit in but don't speak at. Banquets where the wine moves faster than anyone's discipline. You're building a map, not a plan, a map. Who's afraid of whom, and why, and what a single piece shifted would cost. John Hunyadi, the best military mind in Central Europe, doesn't like you. He's seen you 3 times. Each time he walks away with the same look, somewhere between respect and unease. The way a man looks at something sharp he hasn't found a use for yet. He doesn't like you. In 1456, he backs you for the throne anyway. You are 25. You ride into Wallachia with a real army. The boyars who'd had a hand in your father's death are still there. Some of them show up to your feast at Targoviste. Long tables. They eat your food. They raise cups to your health. You let them finish. Then the guards take them. All of them. One evening. The older ones go on stakes in the castle grounds. The younger and stronger get marched 50 miles to Ponari and put to work rebuilding the citadel with their hands. until whoever survives isn't strong enough to matter anymore. A generation of boyar power, gone in a night. No trial, no back channel, no negotiation. Word moves fast in a small country. You replace them with men you chose, men who have nothing except your confidence and can't afford to lose it. Historians still argue over this. Crime in Wallachia under his reign dropped to near zero, not because people got better, because the consequence was so public and so certain that the calculation changed. A foreign ambassador wrote home that a traveler could leave a sack of gold on the road and find it untouched the next morning. Sit with what it takes to make that true, then sit with what it costs. You are 26. The stake isn't cruelty for its own sake. That's the version that survives after you're dead, once the story has had a century to curdle. The stake is a message, written in a language everyone reads regardless of whether they're literate. A hanged man informs the people who find him. An impaled man informs everyone who passes that road for the following week. Visibility is the point. Duration is the point. You use it with precision. Thieves, corrupt officials, conspirators, merchants who squeeze the peasants, Ottoman operatives moving through your territory. Same sentence. The stakes outside Targovishte multiply. Travelers stop locking doors. Crime goes quiet. A foreign dignitary visits and remarks that a gold cup left by the road would still be there the next day. He means it as a compliment. You understand what you've built. A country held together by one thing, the certainty that you mean what you threaten. You are 31. Mehmed II is coming. The man who broke Constantinople's walls at 21 years old. He has 90,000 soldiers. You have 20,000. You don't meet him in open field. You burn your own crops, poison your own wells, push the sick into his forward camps. You fight at night, in rain, in ground his cavalry can't work. You give him nothing to take because you take it first. Then you give him something to look at. On the road to Targovishte, for 3 miles, you build a forest. Not trees, stakes. 20,000 of them, driven into the earth in geometric rows organized by rank. Ottoman prisoners and collaborators sorted by height and title into something with no name in any language. Mehmed reaches the city's edge. He stops. The army stops. He looks at what you've built. His generals say nothing. He says nothing. He turns around. 90,000 soldiers. He turns around, no bolt fired, no sword drawn. He simply goes home. You walk through the forest alone afterward. Wind moves through it. You don't celebrate. You're already on the next problem. Your brother is still smiling. He's further south, raising an Ottoman army. Mehmed II kept a diary. His entry after Targovishte says the sight was more terrifying than any army. He had taken 25 kingdoms. He had directed the fall of Constantinople personally. He turned around because of 20,000 stakes and one man who did something nobody calculated he'd actually do. So why did everything still fall apart? You are 31, still 31, same year. Mehmed retreats. He doesn't need an army anymore. He has Radu, your brother who laughed with the Ottoman boys in Edirne when you were both children, who found a language and stayed in it, who is now a general riding toward Targovishte at the head of an Ottoman-backed force. Your wife is in the castle when the advance guard reaches the walls. She looks out from the tower. She makes a decision. She steps off. She said she wouldn't be taken. She wasn't. You hear this in the field. You say nothing. You keep moving. Grief costs time, and time is the one currency that can't be borrowed. The remaining boyars go to Radu, one by one, then in groups. The throne comes apart under you like river ice in March. By winter, you fled north into Hungary. Your brother is still smiling. He holds the throne you built for 13 years. You sit in a Hungarian cell for 12 of them. You are 32. Matthias Corvinus arrests you at the border. Fabricated charge. Letters supposedly written to Mehmed II. A convenience. He doesn't want you loose and unmanaged on his flank, and this is the cheapest way to keep you. The cell is in Visegrad. Stone walls. A window facing the Danube, so you can watch water move when you can't. 12 years. The stories, and you generate stories even in a cell, say you impaled mice on tiny sticks, birds you caught at the window, that you couldn't exist without it, that you needed the gesture. Maybe. The stories were mostly written by people who needed a particular version of you. Pure appetite, no calculation. That version is easier to dismiss. What's accurate? You're the most dangerous prisoner in Europe, and Corvinus knows it. He can't execute you. Too many people watching. And he can't release you. So he does the one thing left. He makes himself useful to you. Slowly, he lets you remarry. Gives you access to dispatches. Starts including you in conversations about campaigns. He thinks he's running you. You've seen that expression before. You let him keep it. By 1474, he decides you're worth more facing outward. He opens the door. 12 years in that cell. You walk out without looking back at it once. You're already thinking about the road north. He was 44 when Corvinus released him. 12 years of imprisonment. Whatever time he had left, the realistic estimate wasn't generous. He spent 2 years of it trying to take back everything. What does a man do with a clock running that fast? The same thing he always did. You are 45. You raise an army. You invade Wallachia. Radu is already dead. Disease, in obscurity, no drama attached to it. The irony is there somewhere, but you don't stop for it. You take the throne for the third time. You hold it for several weeks. How you die is disputed. A battle. An ambush. Possibly your own men in the confusion of a skirmish outside Bucharest. Possibly Ottoman soldiers. Your head goes to Constantinople. Mehmed II mounts it on a spike above the city gate and adds a placard naming you, so nobody could claim the identification was mistaken. The man who turned his army around at Targovishte mounts your head on a spike and labels it. That's the thing worth noticing. Mehmed II, the conqueror of Constantinople, an empire from the Balkans to Persia, needed to prove publicly that this particular man was dead. You don't put a placard on a head that nobody feared. You put it on a head people might not believe was finished. You are 45, and then you're not. No funeral, no tomb. When archaeologists open the grave at Snagov Monastery, the one monks have been pointing to for 5 centuries, in 1931, it's empty. You built things you could see, stakes visible from the road, a forest you walk through yourself. A reputation so heavy, 90,000 soldiers turned around to avoid it. And then the ground takes you without ceremony. They'll spend 5 centuries arguing about what you were, a monster, a patriot, a prince who did what the situation required, a man who found one instrument and kept reaching for it past the point he should have put it down. You don't hear any of it. The medallion, the dragon eating its own tail. You held it at 5 and thought it meant safety. Now you know what it meant. Some things consume themselves. Some men choose that. The quiet out here is total. You are history.